Peace, blessings, salutations. Yarima Karama here. Real life, real talk. These are the days of our lives. So, I wanted to, I wanted to chime in, so to speak, on this thing with Colin Kaepernick and the some of what he's going through right now. And make no mistake about it, I make my position known. I'm for that brother. I love what he's doing. I think that more artists, more pro athletes, more these rappers who are out here talking all this gangster stuff, but they never do gangster stuff. I think that more people need to be stepping up on that level, doing their part. So I have no problem. So, but it seems that a lot of people do have a problem, and so I wanted to chime in because I think that, and the question that I pose is that do we owe any type of allegiance to these coons and bootlickers within the black community? And I'm not saying that. And understand. I'm not saying that because I feel like everybody should necessarily be on the same page or have the same thought pattern, because that makes us robots. I think that we can agree to disagree. And I think that when we talk about black empowerment, black economics, when we talk about black community and black unity, I think that how we get to that, there's going to be some ideological differences here and there, and I get that. So if a person feels like, well, but with those ideological differences, I understand that there's also going to be different roads that people take to get to the accomplished goal. So, for instance, some people might say, well, violence isn't the answer. I mean, I will boycott. I will not spend my money, but I'm not going to do anything violent because that's not the answer. I don't condone that. And then another group might say, well, there's really never been any freedom for any people anywhere in the world without the shedding of blood. So therefore, violence is necessary. And so these two people might be at odds on how to get to the accomplished goals, but the common denominator that they have is that they both recognize that there's a problem. And so therefore, how they get to it, one group can go this route because we need that too. One group might go this route because they feel like that's necessary, but they're both headed in the same direction as far as trying to get to the accomplished goal. However, when you have these bootlickers and coons who their specific objective is to defend the white supremacist system and the white supremacist ideology, do we owe them any type of allegiance? Because and the reason I pose that is because brothers and sisters, you have some brothers and sisters say, well, you shouldn't be talking bad about other blacks, and we should keep that in house. For you to talk bad about another black person, you're a piece of mess. My position is, are they really black? Because this is a state of mind. Pan-Africanism is a state of mind. Consciousness is a state of mind. You either have it in you or you don't. Bottom line. And so even Malcolm taught us that when you got dogs in the community with rabies, you must get rid of them lest they bite and infect the rest of the community and infect everybody. So therefore, everybody who comes in black skin, they can get the business too, just like anybody else, because they're not doing any favors to the black community doing that. And I get tired of this massa mentality like, oh, massa, if you sick, we sick too. No. Oh, massa, we sick? No, massa, you sick. I'm not sick. And as a matter of fact, you ain't my massa. So, but we know that we have blacks out here who have that mentality. They have it. And so it comes to light in situations like this with the brother Collin. And one thing I notice about the systemic part of things, one thing whites they relish in is pitting blacks against each other. So the first thing they like to do is go look for other blacks who are in opposition to one black doing something, and then they like to pit them against each other. This brother stood up Well, actually, he didn't stand up. He sat down and said, until this, first of all, this racist national anthem, until that flag is representative of everybody in this country and not just a small segment, until that flag is representative of everybody, I'm not standing. And the national anthem, quite frankly, is a racist anthem. We know that from a historical standpoint. So why would you want to stand and cross your heart for an anthem that was produced in the bowels, the very bowels of racism? And so I wanted to do this to say that we need to be supporting, especially a young brother who's putting his paycheck on the line. That needs to be supported because you don't have that. What you have is quite the opposite. You have people selling out for money every day in this country. They sell out for money, and they sell their people up the river for money. And we see it with all these reality shows that aren't reality. They're actually buffoonery, but people, they put a spin on it and say, oh, reality TV, Housewives of Atlanta, and Love and Hip Hop. These are buffoon shows, and they're there for a specific reason, to dummy down our youth, our young people, to dummy them down, and even some of our grown adults. They're there to dummy down and to keep you in a perpetual state and cycle of idiocracy and always looking out for somebody else to find your joy and happiness. And they keep your eyes out here instead of keeping your eyes focused in on you, because they don't want you to get knowledge of self. Because once you get knowledge of self and know who you really are, then you understand the power that's invested in you, and they can no longer beat you at the game that they've produced. But they keep us out here on this one-eyed devil called the television and all these other isms that people get caught up in, and everybody's looking for their God outside of themselves. And so I wanted to commend this brother, Collin Kaepernick, for his stance and for putting himself out there. Because at the end of the day, brothers and sisters aren't doing that. And he's doing it in the prime of he's doing that in the prime of his career. See, he didn't wait till he's 65, 70, 75 years old to stand up once he's made his riches, once he's invested and has money flowing in and he's almost on his deathbed and now he wants to take a stand. No, he's doing it now as a youth. And like he said, he evolved. He evolved over the course of time. He started doing some research and saw, wait, this isn't right. This isn't right. And so I wanted to do a short take, because I think a lot of times, especially with these bootlicking Negroes that we got in the community, they don't want to give anything back to the community. They're not pitching in for the community, but as soon as somebody stands up for the community, then they got their 2 cents. Then they want to get out there. But a guy like me who's out in the street, who's going to community events, who's sitting up there going to middle schools and stuff, I never see these people in there. I never see them. For some reason, they never show up. But when somebody actually does stand up and want to take a stance and want to send a message, all of a sudden they come flying out the woodworks with their propaganda. And so it's quite upsetting. But at the end of the day, we know that this is the war this is the type of war that has been produced, and some of the greatest enemies are going to come in skin color just like us. It's just a fact. Even when I made the statement earlier on a Facebook live stream that even while I was in prison, if you had a white guard or a lieutenant who would slap you, you always had that bootlicking Negro who would come up and punch you to try to knock teeth out of your mouth and be on that. Wait, I got him, massa. I got him. I'll show you. And all that craziness. And so. Now, people don't like that I say that, which I refer them to my popular spoken word video on YouTube, rightfully titled, I Give No Fucks. So people don't like when I say that, but why wouldn't you like the truth? Unless you're living in a falsehood or a lie. Why wouldn't you like the truth? Because that's exactly what it is. It's a truth. And I know that there will be some trolls on here, but I don't even pay attention to the trolls anymore. Matter of fact, half the time I don't even read the comments because I know the trolls always got something stupid to say. So, but anyway, I wanted to put that out that I support that brother, and we should be giving our support. We should be giving our support. This is a young brother who he didn't always have an easy life himself. And so he was able to get into the NFL, make some money, became popular, and now he's saying, wait, hold up. You over here disrespecting, abusing, mistreating my people. No, you know what? I can't stand for this. And if I was out there with him, we would be sitting together, quite frankly. We'd both be sitting together. Because at the end of the day, that's what it comes down to. Do you really have a love for your people or not? Or are you about self? Or are you about that dollar? We see rappers selling out for dollars every day. We see stars selling out for dollars every day. We see artists selling out every day for a paycheck. And we don't call it selling out. We don't call it that. We just say, oh, well, they got an opportunity and they made it in. But at the end of the day, the NFL, the MLB, the NBA, or the WNBA, those are all slave plantations. That's just another form of a plantation, for real, for real. And so if we were smart, we would have, because we bring all the talent anyway, we would have our own league. We would have our own league. But I guess that makes too much sense. We would rather. Well, they would rather massa pay. I guess. I don't know. But anyway, my name is Yurima Karama. Hit my webpage, www.yurimakarama.com, for booking info, messaging, as well as to find out my performance dates and locations. Have a new album coming out, Up From the Trenches, Out of the Tombs. I have been posting it. I posted a small trailer for it. That drops September 1st. Also, going to be in ATL September 15th through the 17th. Be down there with Dr. Boyce Watkins. I'll be sitting on the Saturday panel on the 17th. I'll be on that panel with Killer Mike and David Banner and Attorney Shabazz and a few others. So be looking for that. And if you're in that area, that's going to be the place to be. I think it's the Shrine of the Madonna there in ATL is where it's held. You can go to allblacknationalconvention.com for more info, for ticket pricing and all of that. Again, that's allblacknationalconvention.com. And so again, my name is Yurima Karama. Connect with me. Let's network. Let's build. Let's come up, man, together. Let's talk. Let's communicate. With that said, Yurima Karama, peace, blessings, salutations. I'm out. One.